JEE Syllabus. JEE Syllabus Physics. Gender. Units and dimensions. Dimensional analysis. Least count. Significant figures. Methods of measurement and error analysis for physical quantities pertaining to the following experiments. Experiments based on using vernier calipers and screw gauge micrometer. Determination of G using simple pendulum. Young's modulus by Searle's method. Specific heat of a liquid using calorimeter. Focal length. A concave mirror and a convex lens using UV method. Speed of sound using resonance column. Verification of Ohm's law using voltmeter and ammeter, and specific resistance of the material of a wire using meter bridge and post office box. Mechanics. Pneumatics in 1 and 2 dimensions. Cartesian coordinates only. Projectiles. Uniform circular motion, relative velocity, Newton's laws of motion, interior and uniformly accelerated frames of reference, static and dynamic friction, kinetic and potential energy, work and power, conservation of linear momentum and mechanical energy, systems of particles, center of mass and its motion, impulse, elastic and inelastic collisions, law of gravitation, gravitational potential and field, acceleration due to gravity motion of planets and satellites in circular orbits, escape velocity, rigid body, moment of interior, parallel and perpendicular axis theorems, moment of interior of uniform bodies with simple geometrical shapes, angular momentum, torque, conservation of angular momentum, dynamics of rigid bodies with the fixed axis of rotation, rolling without a slip-moving rings, cylinders and spheres, equilibrium of rigid bodies, collision of point masses with rigid bodies, linear and angular, simple harmonic motion, Hooke's law, Young's modulus. Pressure in a fluid, Pascal's law, buoyancy, surface energy and surface tension, capillary rise, viscosity, Poisson's equation excluded, Stokes' law, terminal velocity, streamline flow, equation of continuity, Bernoulli's theorem and its applications, wave motion, plane waves only, longitudinal and transverse waves, superpositions of waves, percussive and stationary waves, vibration of strings and air columns, resonance, beats, speed of sound in gases, Doppler effect in sound, thermal physics, thermal expansion of solids, liquids and gases, calorimetry, latent heat, heat conduction in one dimension, elementary concepts of convection and radiation, Newton's law of cooling, ideal gas laws, specific heats Cv and Cp for monoatomic and diatomic gases, isothermal and adiabatic process, bulk modulus of gases, equivalence of heat and work, first law of thermodynamics and its applications only for ideal gases, block body radiation, absorptive and emissive powers, Kirchhoff's law, Wion's displacement law, Stephen's law, electricity and mechanism, Coulomb's law, electric field and potential, electrical potential energy of a system of point charges and a electrical dipoles and a uniform electrostatic field, electric field lines, flux of electric field, Gauss's law and its application simple cases such as to find field due to infinitely long straight wire, uniformly charged infinity plane sheet and uniformly charged thin spherical shell, capacitance, parallel plate, capacitor with and without dielectrics, capacitors in series and parallel, energy stored in a capacitor, electric current, Ohm's law, series and parallel arrangements of resistance and cells, Kirchhoff's laws and simple applications, heating effect of current by Sauer's law and Ampere's law, magnetic field near a current carrying straight wire, along the axis of a circular coil and inside a long straight solenoid, force on a moving charge and on a current carrying wire in a uniform magnetic field, magnetic moment of a current loop, effect of a uniform magnetic field on a current loop, moving coil, galvanometer, voltmeter, ammeter and their conversion, electromagnetic induction, Faraday's law, Lenz's law, self and mutual induction RC, LR and LC circuits with DC and AC sources, optics, rectilinear propagation of light, reflection and refraction at plane at spherical surface, total internal reflection, deviation and dispersion of light by a prism, thin lenses, combinations of mirror and thin lenses, magnification. Wave nature of light, Hughes principle, interference limited to Young's double slit experiment. Modern physics, atomic nucleus, alpha, beta and gamma radiations. Law of radioactive decay, decay constant, half-life and mean life, binding energy and its calculation, fission and fusion process, energy calculation in this process, photoelectric effect, Bohr's theory to hydrogen-like atoms, characteristics and continuous X-rays, Moseley's ray, de Broglie wavelength of matter waves. Chemistry JEE syllabus, general topics, concept of atoms and molecules, Dalton's atomic theory, mole concept, chemical formula, balanced chemical equations, calculations based on mole concept, involving common acceleration reduction, neutralization and displacement reactions, concentration in terms of mole fraction, molarity, molality and normality, gases and liquid states, absolute scale of temperature, ideal gas equation, deviation from ideality, Van der Waals equation, kinetic theory of gases, average, root mean square and most probable velocities and their relation with temperature, law of partial pressures, vapor pressure, diffusion cases, atomic structure and chemical bonding, Bohr model, spectrum of hydrogen atom, quantum numbers, wave particle duality, de Broglie hypothesis, uncertainty principle, qualitative quantum, mechanical picture of hydrogen atom, shapes of s, p and d orbitals, electronic configurations of elements up to atomic number 36, alpha principles, Pauli's exclusion principle and Hunter's rule, orbital overlap and covalent bond, hybridization involving s, p and d orbitals only, orbital energy diagrams for homonuclear diatomic species, hydrogen bond, polarity in molecules, dipole moment, qualitative aspects only, VSEPR model and shapes of molecules, linear, angular, triangle, square, planar, pyramidal, square pyramidal, trigonal pyramidal, dodecahedral and octahedral. Energetics, first law of thermodynamics, internal energy, work and heat, pressure, volume, work, enthalpy, Hess's law, heat of reaction, fusion and vaporization, second law of thermodynamics, entropy, free energy, criterion of spontaneity, chemical equilibrium, law of mass action, equilibrium constant, Lee characters principle, effect of concentration, temperature and pressure, significance of Tg and Tgo in chemical equilibrium, solubility product, common ion effect, pH and Puffer solutions, acids and bases, Bronsted and Lewis concepts, hydrolysis of salts, electrochemistry, electrochemical cells and cell reactions, standard electrode potentials, Nernst equation and its relations to Tg, electrochemical series, EM of galvanic cells, Faraday's law of electrolysis, electrolytic conductance, specific, equivalent and molar conductivity, Kirchhoff's law, concentration cells, chemical kinetics, rates of chemical reactions, order of reactions, rate constant, first order reactions, temperature dependence of rate constant, Arrhenius equation, solid state, classification of solid, crystalline state, 7 crystal system, cell parameters A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma, closed packet structure of solids, cubic, packing in FCC, BCC and HCP lactates, nearest neighbors, ionic radii, solution, Rousseau's law, molecular weight determination from lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point and depression of freezing point, surface chemistry, elementary concepts of observation, excluding observation isotherms, colloids, types, methods, preparation and general properties, elementary ideas of emulsion, surface and Michael's only definition and examples, nuclear chemistry, radioactive isotopes and isobars, properties of alpha, beta and gamma rays, kinetics of radioactive decay, decay series excluded, Gorman dating, stability of nuclei with respect to proton, neutron, radio, brief discussion on fission and fusion reactions. In organic chemistry, isolation or preparation, and properties of the following non-metals: boron, silicon, nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur, and halogens. Properties of allotropies of carbon: only diamond and graphite, phosphorus and sulfur. Preparation and properties of the following components: oxides, peroxides, hydroxides, carbonates, bicarbonates, chlorides and sulfates of sodium, potassium, magnesium and calcium. Boron, diboron, boric acid and borax. Aluminium, aluminium, chloride and atoms, carbon, oxides and oxyacid, carbonic acid. Silicon, silicates and silicon carbide, nitrogen, oxides, oxyacids and ammonia. Phosphorus, oxyacids, phosphorus acid, phosphoric acid and phosphorine. Oxygen, ozone and hydrogen peroxide. Sulfur, hydrogen sulfide, acids, sulfurous acid, sulfuric acid and sodium thiosulfate. Halogens, hydroic acids and oxyacids of chlorine, bleaching powder, xenon fluorides. Transition elements, 3D series, JEE syllabus. Definition, general characteristics, oxidation states and their stabilities. Color, excluding the details of electronic transitions, and calculation of spin-only magnetic moment. Coordination compounds, nomenclature of mononuclear coordination compounds. Cis trans and ionization isomerism, hybridization and geometrics of mononuclear coordination compounds: linear, dodecahedral, square planar and octahedral. Preparation and properties of the following components: acids and chlorides of tin and lead, oxides, chlorides and sulfates of Fe2+, Cu2+, and Zn2+, potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate, silver oxide, silver nitrate, silver thiosulfate. Ores and minerals, JEE syllabus. Commonly occurring ores and minerals of iron, copper, tin, lead, magnesium, aluminium, zinc and silver. Extractive metallurgy, JEE syllabus. Chemical principles and reactions only, industrial details excluded. Carbon reduction method, iron and tin, self-reduction method, copper and lead, electrolytic reduction method, magnesium and aluminium, cyanide process, silver and gold, organic chemistry. Concepts, JEE syllabus. Hybridization of carbon, sigma and pi bonds, shapes of simple organic molecules, structural and geometrical isomerism, optical isomerism of compounds containing up to two asymmetric centers, or S and EZ nomenclature excluded. IUPAC nomenclature of simple organic compounds, only hydrocarbons, monofunctional and bifunctional compounds. Conformations of ethane and butane, Newman projects, resonance and hyperconjunction, ketone and tautomerism. Determination of empirical and molecular formula of simple components, only computational method. Hydrogen bonds, definition and their effects on physical properties of alcohols and carboxylic acids. Inductive and resonance effects on activity and basically of organic acids and bases. Polarity and inductive effects in alkyl halides. Reactive intermediates produced during homolytic and heterolytic bond cleavage. Formation, structure and stability of carbocations, carbonions and free radicals. Preparation, properties and reactions of alkanes. Homologous series, physical properties of alkanes, melting points, boiling points and density. Composition and halogenation of alkanes. Preparation of alkanes by Woods. Reaction and decarboxylation reactions. Preparation, properties and reactions of alkenes and alkynes. Physical properties of alkenes and alkynes, boiling points, density and dipole moments. Acidity of alkynes. Acid catalyzed hydration of alkenes and alkynes, excluding the stereochemistry of addition and elimination. Reactions of alkenes with KMnO4 and ozone. Reduction of alkenes and alkynes. Preparation of alkenes and alkynes by elimination reaction. Electrophilic addition reactions of alkenes with X2, HX, HOX and H2O. X halogen addition reactions of alkenes. Metal oxidides. Reactions of benzene JE syllabus, structure and aromatically. Electrophilic substitution reactions, halogenation, nitration, sulforation, Friedel-Crafts, algination and acylation. Effect of O, M and B directing groups in monosubstitution benzenes. Phenols JE syllabus, acidity, electrophilic substitution reactions, halogenation, nitration and sulfonation. Riemann-Tiemann reaction, Golby reaction. Characteristic reactions of the following, including those maintained above: alkyl halides, rearrangement reactions of alkyl carbocation, Grignard reactions, nucleophilic substitution reaction, alcohols, esterification, dihydration and oxidation. Reaction with sodium, phosphorus halides, azidine-C12, concentrated HCl, conversion of alcohols into alkanes and ketones. Mathematics, algebra JE syllabus, algebra of complex numbers, addition, multiplication, conjugation, polar representation, properties of modulus and principal agreement, triangle inequality, cube roots of unity, geometric interpreters, coordinate equations with real conflicts, coefficients, relations between roots and coefficients, formation of quadratic equations with given roots, symmetric functions of roots, arithmetic, geometric and harmonic progressions. Arithmetic, geometric and harmonic means sums of finite arithmetic and geometric progression. Infinite geometry series, sums of squares and cubes of the first and natural numbers, logarithms and their properties. Permutations and combinations. Phenomenal theorem for a positive integral index. Properties of phenomenal conflicts. Matrix as a rectangular array of real numbers. Equality of matrix, addition, multiplication by a scalar and a product of matrix. Transpose of a matrix. Determinant of a square matrix of order up to 3. Inverse of a square matrix of order up to 3 properties of these matrix operations. Diagonal, symmetric and skew symmetric matrix and their properties. Solutions of simultaneous linear equations in 2 or 3 variables. Addition and multiplication, rules of probability, conditional probability, Bayes' theorem, independence of events, computation of probability of events using permutations and combinations. Trigonometry, trigonometric functions, their periodicity and graphs, addition and subtraction formula, formula involving multiple and submultiple angles, general solutions of trigonometric equations, relations between sides and angles of a triangle, sine rule, cosine rule, half angle formula and the area of a triangle, inverse trigonometric functions, principal value only, analytical geometry, 2 dimensions JE syllabus, Cartesian coordinates, distance between 2 points, section formula, shift of origin, equation of a straight line in a various form, angle between 2 lines, distance of a point from a line, lines through the point of intersection of 2 given lines, equation of the bisector of the angle between 2 lines, concurrency of lines, centroid, orthocenter, incenter and circumference of a triangle, equation of a circle in various forms, equations of tangent, normal and chord, parametric equations of a circle, intersection of a circle with a straight line or a circle, equation of a circle through the points of intersection of 2 circles and those of a circle and a straight line, equations of a parabola, ellipse and hyperbola in standard form, their Fourier directories and essentially. Parametric equations, equations of tangent and normal, Lucas problems, 3 dimensions, direction, cosines and directions radio, equations of straight line in space, equation of a plane, distance of a point from a plane. Differential calculus, real valued functions of a real variable into, onto and one-to-one functions, sum, difference, product and quantitate of 2 functions, composite functions, absolute value, polynomial, radiational, trigonometric, exponential and logarithmic functions, limit and continuity of a function, limit and continuity of the sum, difference, product and coordinate of 2 functions, L. Hospital rule of evaluation of limits of functions, even and odd functions, inverse of a function, continuity of composite functions, intermediate value Properly of continuous functions. Derivative of a function. Derivative of the sum, difference, product and quantity of two functions. Chain rule. Derivatives of polynomial, radiational, trigonometric, inverse trigonometric, exponential and logarithmic functions. Derivatives of implicit functions. Derivatives up to order 2. Geometrical interpretation of the derivative. Tangents and normals. Increasing and decreasing functions. Maximum and minimum value of a function. Rules theorem and logarithm means value theorem. Integral calculus JEE syllabus. Integration as the inverse process of differentiation. Identify integrals of standard functions. Define integrals and their properties. Fundamentals theorem of integral calculus. Integration by parts. Integration by the methods of substitution and partial fractions. Application of definite integrals to the determination of areas involving simple curves. Formation of ordinary different equations. Solution of homogeneous different equations. Separations of variable method. Linear first order differential equations. Vectors. Addition of vectors. Scalar multiplication. Dot and cross products. Scalar tips, products and their geometrical interpretations.